Hi there, welcome to another Game Jam time. I'm Paul, the Teen Librarian at Gloucester County Library, and today we're talking about Unity, but a specific type of Unity. This is called Unity Playground. It's an asset you can add to Unity. For those of you that don't know or might know a little bit about Unity, Unity's been used in a lot of retail games. If you've known things like City Skylines, Ori and the Blind Forest, Cuphead, Hollow Knight, those were all made in Unity. And Unity is wouldn't be a recording if my cat didn't immediately interrupt me. Unity is a really big game development software tool. You can make really amazing, complicated games in it, but thanks to Unity Playground, you can also make it a little more simplistic, and it works as a really good starting point if you're not used to using Unity, which can be really overwhelming when you first get into it. So Unity is a huge game development platform, and it's used throughout the games industry. And amazingly, it is free to use. Specifically, I don't know if like when you're a larger software development like team, it's free to use, but as far as independent use, it's free to use for like hobbyists. It's designed for 3D games, but it can also run 2D as well, and much like Unreal Engine, something this powerful also has the capability to be really overwhelming. But Unity has an official asset pack, like I mentioned before. It streamlines a lot of the elements and makes designing simple games pretty easy. So as you can see here, we're at unity.com. To get started, you want to install the full version of Unity. You do that by going to Get Started. And you'll notice by default we're on the Business tab, and you don't want to pay any of those things. So you want to go to the Individual tab, and just go under Personal. It is free. Get Started, it'll download and install the latest version of Unity. So I'm not going to do that because I've already done that, and Unity is right here. Now after you have everything installed, you'll see you have a couple tabs over here, Scene, Game, Asset Store. You're going to go to Asset Store and type search for assets, and you'll type Unity Playground, and oddly enough, I don't think it's the first thing that shows up on there, but you'll see it's from Unity Technologies. It looks like this. It has this graphic on here. You just click Import. It adds everything to your project. It will warn you that it's going to overwrite your open project, which should be a blank project anyway, so it shouldn't matter. Now, instead of walking you through how to use Unity Playground and making your own game with it, I'm just going to direct you to the official Unity Playground tutorial video, because the person that does it does a tremendous job of getting you up and running. It's a 14-minute video, and if you factor in like having to pause and follow along and do the different things, I'm going to say it'll take maybe a half an hour. You can get a game up and running like the one I have on the screen here. So let's hit play. This is a very simple game, but you'll see I have a nice little ship. It has some flame graphics that follow my ship around, which is pretty cool. I don't think they're quite centered. It looks like it's a little off. I can have thrusters here, so I can move around, gravity. I need to adjust my spinny. You can see I have health here up in the corner, and hitting a rock there took away 1 health, and also kind of bumps you and the rock, which is kind of a neat effect. And I hit the rock too many times here. Let's back out and go back in so I can actually complete it. Okay, so you can see I can thrust around, but if I hit the W key, I've got lots of lasers and I can fire them everywhere and destroy the asteroids. And I'm trying to rescue these 3 aliens here. Now, I did notice a little bit of a glitch I haven't fixed yet, where the score says 1, but I think if I hit an asteroid, yeah, it gives me 0 points for the asteroid, and it shouldn't say that I got 0 points. I should just have the total tally, which it does keep track of, because if I catch this guy, my score is now 2. So for some reason, it's showing that I got 0 points for hitting the asteroid. I haven't fixed that yet. Also, a thing to note is the camera kind of follows you around, which is cool. And then if I get this third guy, player 1 wins. You get 3 points and you finish it. So it's a really simple game. But the neat thing about it is the initial game that it's kind of designed for is an asteroids clone. And the walkthrough here, the tutorial video, doesn't really give you the instructions to make the asteroid clone, because you can actually you can go down here. It has all the example games here. We're seeing the scripts. If you go to examples, you got Adventure, Defender, Football, Lunar Lander, Maze, and Roguelike. I think this is the Lunar Lander level, actually. So you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing at all in Lunar Lander. But instead, he shows you how to make those assets into your own game, which I thought was much more valuable than just, like, make this exact game the way the example shows it. So that's, I think, I really like the way he gives you that option. He actually gives you, like, he shows 4 or 5 different examples of how to use this lunar module and making, like, a maze game, a 2-player kind of chase game, getting these alien guys. He shows a lot of different ways you can do it, and I kind of feel like that's more valuable than just showing, here's an example, and here's exactly how you make this example. He shows you different ways you can do different things with the assets you're given. So after you do, like, this whole video, you'll learn a lot of different things you can tweak with it, like score and gravity and the goals, the layout of the level, and you're encouraged after you get finished to take what you've learned and kind of make your own game with it. So I think that's the best thing for what you can learn with these assets. And you can see so there's an option that adds playground on and playground off. I have playground on right now. So if you look at something like the space shooter, the spaceship here, it's kind of hard to tell if you're not used to Unity, but these options are really simplified, and it just shows you the items you need. And it also has different components, which I think you can look at all the components. I think in documentation, there's cheat sheets and a reference getting started guide in PDF. It essentially gives you flashcards of all the components it does here and what they do. But it does really simple things like this damages you, this gives you score, this is your goal, this rotates things, this is a 2D collision object. It kind of pre-builds all those things for you, so you don't need to do any kind of coding. You can just drag and drop this thing in here. So I think it's really useful for doing very simple games like we've been showing on here. But it's neat because it's inside a very complicated game design software, and this is a great way to get started on learning your way around Unity. So just to give you a quick view of what I have on the screen here, you can see most of my screen is taken up by these asteroids that I've made. So if we look at asteroid 1 here, there he is, and you can do easy things like, I can make it, oops, that just moves it. Here's scaling. I can make the asteroids any size you want. I can do rotations on them. And then I have down here, where's the component for a lot of health, destroy for points. Oh, this one doesn't have it, I guess. Some of the asteroids I have on here have auto-rotate on, so they'll kind of spin around slowly in place. I know that all the aliens and robots do auto-rotate. There we go. Auto-rotate to make, say, the rotation speed, so that way everything kind of looks a little less uniform. You can see I made the asteroids. They're all just duplicates of each other, but I made them kind of different sizes. I rotated them to different angles so they all kind of look a little bit different, just to give it some variety. For the main ship, Rigid Body 2D just shows what it will do in 2D space. The input key to move it. Push strength, you can do all different things like gravity you want 0 because we don't want it falling on the bottom of the screen. But as far as mass and friction, you can adjust those to try and kind of see what feels right. It still feels a little wonky to me, I think. I still might play around with that. Rotation speed for left and right. You can see here, 10's pretty high rotation speed. So if we use left and right here, you could eventually get really spinny here. So it's a little, you do turn kind of quickly. It feels a little weird, but you get used to it, so it's not too bad. W key shoots a bunch of lasers, which is just, whoops, I think I went to the game again. Yeah, I've got laser shooter attached to it, and it just shoots a laser that I already kind of pre-made in here. Real easy stuff to do, and I just did all this with the assets that they give you in the playground. So that is a quick run through of Unity Playground. Really recommend you go out and try this. It's super easy to go and drag and drop and make your own games in Unity, which makes them very easy to share with other people. Once again, let me just make sure I mentioned this, that go to YouTube, search for Unity Playground, and it should be the first video that comes back, but you'll notice that the video is by Unity, and it's called How to Start Making Games Unity Playground. And like I said, very easy to walk through with this thing. I will say, from my personal experience, be careful as far as doing updates to Unity with your previous games, because I had made this before and was going to make a video, and then I updated Unity, and then the previous game I made with it didn't work, and Unity Playground didn't seem to work, so I think Unity is very specific about the versions of Unity you're using, and the projects that were made in Unity, you want to make sure that they run in those versions, I think. Like I said, newbie to Unity, but that seemed to ruin everything for me, so be careful with that. Alright guys, that's all I have to show for you today, Unity Playground. Make sure you go out and give this a try, and if you do make a game and share it, go ahead and share it in the comments below. What did you make? And if you upload it to itch or something, make sure to put a link to it in the comments below, and we can check out what you made. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.